Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're doing something a little different. We are breaking down an incredibly inspiring modern fable called The Power of Persistence. It's this phenomenal story about an ordinary, hardworking guy just trying to make it in a bustling city. And honestly, what I absolutely love about this source material is how it just cuts through all the noise. It gives us this very grounded, literally step-by-step blueprint for how sheer willpower and focus can completely rewrite someone's life trajectory. So if you've ever felt kind of overwhelmed by where you're starting from, well, buckle up, because this breakdown is exactly what you need.
Okay, let's dive right into this with Section 1, A Dream Without Degrees.
So looking at where this young man started, the contrast is pretty stark. He didn't come from money, so zero financial safety net, and he completely lacked an advanced university degree. And let's be real, in a massive bustling city, lacking both capital and credentials usually puts you at a severe disadvantage. It's kind of like starting a marathon a mile behind everyone else. But, and here's the kicker, what he did possess completely overpowered those deficits. He had this massive dream and an absolutely unbreakable spirit. The text makes it super clear, his internal drive, that was his true currency. He absolutely refused to let his lack of external resources define his potential.
Which brings us to the actual mechanics of how he pulled this off. In Section 2, the 3-job grind. We are talking about grinding day and night. Seriously, every single morning he was logging long hours at a standard office job, but he didn't stop there. Right after finishing that main shift, right around the time when most of us are crashing on the couch to relax, he immediately pivoted to a part-time evening job. And incredibly, whenever he found a spare hour late at night, he was back out there, hitting the streets, driving for a ride-sharing service to scrape together extra income. Just take a second to imagine the sheer physical and mental toll of maintaining that kind of exhausting daily schedule. It's a relentless, non-stop cycle of continuous effort.
But, as we all know, that level of extraordinary effort always attracts some doubt. Section 3, Silencing the Naysayers. Now, what's really interesting about this quote is how pointed the criticism was. People literally looked at his insane 3-job grind and told him, "You're just stressing yourself out. Taking on so many jobs won't lead anywhere." These negative external voices were totally trying to derail his massive dream by basically convincing him his intense effort was completely pointless. They saw the stress, sure, but they totally missed the vision.
So how did he fight back against all those doubters? Well, he didn't argue. Actually, scratch that. He didn't say a word. Instead, he relied on one core strategy, smart financial discipline. This wasn't just about making the cash, it was about protecting it like a hawk. This meant carefully squirreling away every tiny piece of his earnings, ruthlessly slashing any unnecessary expenses, and just avoiding distractions altogether. He was intentionally, dollar by dollar, bridging that massive gap between having zero starting capital and eventually funding his dream.
We can actually break down his exact, actionable response to all that negativity into 3 distinct steps. Step 1, stay silent. He just didn't waste a single ounce of energy arguing with folks who couldn't see his vision. Step 2, focus strictly on the ultimate goal. He kept that massive dream front and center in his mind, especially during those grueling late-night driving shifts. And Step 3, exercise that smart financial discipline we just talked about. By literally weaponizing his silence and his discipline, he built an impenetrable shield against the doubt.
And all of this builds up to the ultimate payoff. Section 4, Launching the Food Business.
Cue the triumphant music, right? Because here's that big moment. After years, and I mean years, of continuous effort, grinding morning, evening, and night, he finally saved up enough capital to launch his very own food business. It's just a fantastic realization of his goal. All those small pieces of earnings, carefully saved and fiercely protected from pointless expenses, finally reached a critical mass. His massive dream went from a thought in his head to a physical reality.
And this brilliantly illustrates why his business was instantly successful. His little setup didn't just survive. The thing exploded in popularity almost overnight. Why? Because it was built on 3 foundational pillars: honesty, quality service, and dedication. And these weren't just slick business strategies he read in a textbook. These were the exact character traits he forged in the fire of working all those multiple jobs. He took the exact same dedication that fueled his late-night ride-sharing and part-time evening shifts and poured it directly into serving his own customers.
Which brings us to the ultimate vindication.
Back in the day, he was doubted and harshly criticized for taking on way too much work. But now, the new reality is that those very same critics were absolutely forced to respect his unbelievable transformation. His success spoke so incredibly loudly that he never had to say a single word to his critics. The results did all the talking for sure.
So, what does this all mean for us? Let's get into Section 5, the ultimate moral.
The core premise we can extract from this story is simple, but man, is it profound. No honest work is too small, and absolutely no goal is out of reach if you remain dedicated. It is a powerful, powerful reminder that humble beginnings, like not having wealth or fancy degree, do not dictate your final outcomes. Whether you're working a standard office job, a part-time evening gig, or late-night ride-sharing, all honest work has genuine value. It all acts as a stepping stone toward that massive dream.
So, the crucial point is that, according to our source material, success really isn't magic. It's a proven formula. It requires a careful balance, 33% patience to see the long game through, 33% smart financial discipline to hoard that capital, and 34% continuous effort to actually do the grueling daily work. When you combine those three elements, you're basically creating a recipe for 100% success. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought today. Take a hard look at your own life and the goals you've set for yourself. What small step can you take today to fuel your massive dream? Whether that's picking up an extra shift, finally cutting out an unnecessary expense, or just silencing a naysayer by staying hyper-focused on your ultimate goal. Never forget the incredible power of persistence. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I highly, highly encourage you to take this lesson and apply it to your own journey today. Catch you next time.